So the procedure for adding and looking at the standard scores of these tests is the following. Well, first, of course, when I start the test, I need to subtract the date of birth from the date in which the student was tested. So I get she's 18 years and 2 months. I already have the raw scores for every section of the test. This is the matrices. So I add up the raw scores for each one. This is verbal analogies, is 25. Each one of them has a specific value according to, for example, in the diamond subtest, according to the time that it took the student to solve the problem, they have a score for that. So when my student was 13 years, she was 18, so I started working on the test from here, but I need to take into consideration all of these scores. So I need to add all of this in addition to what I have and where she scored. So for the diamonds it's 61, and from the vocabulary is 46. Again, even if I started here in the 13 years and older, I need to add the scores from before. Once I have the addition of the raw scores, I have to place them here in each one, and I'm going to group them as the verbal subtest and the visuals. So I have the raw scores. I look on the corresponding table of the manual, and I look for my student's age, because this is by age, and my student is here. I would have to look for the scores where it says age 17 through 19 years, 11 months. So I look for the raw score for each one of the subtests, and these are the standard scores. So for example, the verbal analogies, I have a raw score of 25. So I look in here, 25, and then I would have a standard score of 109. So this is what I get from this table, and I write it down over here. Afterwards, after I do that for each one of the subtests, I need to add the verbal scores, and I add the visual scores. Something else that I can get, and this is one table for all of the test, is the percentile score. So I look at the standard scores. For example, this one is 109, and I look for 109 here, standard score, and it is right over here, and you can see that 109 corresponds to the 73rd percentile. So that's how I get the percentiles for each one of the subtests. Once I have added all of the visual and verbal, I place it over here. And now I'm going to look for a table where they show me the scores added. All of the scores added. And these are for the subtests. They are over here. So over here I have the added scores for the verbal, and I look for the corresponding value. In this case is 234. So the corresponding IQ is 119, which is going to be over here, 119 for 234, 119. From here I can also get the percentile of where the score falls, and in this case I'm going to present the results with the 95% confidence interval. So it's going to be from 111 to 125. Okay, so I do that for all of the scores, find the percentile and the confidence interval, and I do that for the general IQ also, which in this case will be this value, 138, all of them together. Now, I look at this score, 138, and then I go to this table to see where that falls. And this score of 138 falls in here, the IQ range 138 and above, which is categorized as being very superior. Okay? So this is how I calculate this. The purpose of this test is to see and compare where the verbal IQ compares to the visual IQ. So I can tell if the student, which way they learn better, which way they solve problems, and I can help them with helping them study better, finding better ways of studying, and knowing themselves better in strengths. If I am doing this for a diagnosis of dyslexia, then this is what I would probably would like. I would observe, stronger visual IQ than a verbal, but this is not the case with this student. And then this is the general IQ. Now these results, I will put them together into a report that I will show the parents of the students. They are the ones that are entitled to see the results first, and the only ones that can't see it unless I have their authorization. Then I can share it with the school or with the other professionals. But if not, they are the ones who see it, and of course the student, because the student is also entitled to see it. Okay, so this is how you do it.